everyone. Okay, so this is a non-serious video. I'm supposed to be making content for the second channel, but I keep forgetting. It's not that I keep forgetting, but I keep putting my main channel above this channel. It doesn't matter. So I was scrolling through Twitter, and it was like a Twitter post. I'll probably have it on screen right now, where it's like had to do an Archon design tier list. And they posted the picture of their tier list, and it was like Raiden Shogun in S, Verona in S, Venti in A, Zhongli in B, the new Pirate Archon in B, and Nahida in C tier. And I was like, do I agree with this? I think this is not good. It's not good because it says it's a design tier list. Means it's their like visual design. And I kind of disagree with that. So I scrabbled along on the internet and I started searching and I started looking and I found a tier list for myself and I made it and I posted it. But I wanted to talk about it because I love Genshin. If you guys like watched my streams from like 2 years ago, I played a lot of Genshin. I fucking love the shit out of Genshin. I just don't like certain game design choices that Genshin's made, and it slowly killed the game for me because it just kept doubling down on the design choices that I didn't like. But I'll probably post the tier list, and this is my tier list that I think is like objectively the better tier list, because I'm gonna go from D tier, move upwards, right? And why I have Zhongli in D tier. And if I'm gonna be honest, the reason Zhongli is in D tier is because I didn't add an F tier. I think Zhongli's design is lazy as fuck. And hold on before you get upset and you start going, oh, but Zhongli's my favorite. Zhongli, he's so good design. Look, he has brown tips in his hair, means he's Geo Archon. It's like, Zhongli straight up just looks like an old guy in a suit. There is nothing about Zhongli that screams Geo Archon to me, other than the brown tips that says he's Geo. To me, and I get the difficulty it had, and no, that's a lie. That's not true, because there was a Zhongli tease, like when he was officially released, and he has like the white overall and the hoodie, and his hands were like crystallized. That's a Geo Archon. The Zhongli we have right now is just somebody's uncle that likes wearing a suit that has some brown on it. I think as a visual design, Zhongli's just bad. Now, are there things I like about his design? Yes, there are things I like about his design. I'm not talking gameplay wise. I'm not talking lore wise. Lore wise, I think Zhongli is very well written. Gameplay wise, I think he's okay. He's just a shield bot. He has like a stupid amount of damage on his ult if you build it correctly, but that's a different story for a different time. Design wise, I think he's just lazy as fuck. And I don't think they did that on purpose. I think that was just, I think simple was what they were going for. I think this is what they aimed to do. Just, he's just a guy. He's just a guy hiding in plain sight, but he has immense power. I think that's the design that they wanted. But as a Archon design, it is not that good. I think if they had released his like Archon look as a skin, I can maybe see a debate for Zhongli being higher on this tier list. but it's not in the game, so he's not higher. The pyro icon. I don't know her name, so I'm not gonna pretend to butcher it. It's probably underneath the picture on the tier list, so you could probably see it. To me, I haven't played Nutland. To me, her design is a really big letdown. Because she was supposed to be like the god of war, right? She was supposed to be like the fiery embodiment of fighting and battle and war itself. And they took that concept and made her into a latex wearing biker girl. And it's not a bad design. Like, her design is not bad if she was just a fire biker girl. She would have been good. But this is not a design tier list. This is an Archon design tier list. And nothing about her tells me that, yes, this is a fire Archon. This is the embodiment of fire. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater. Maybe I'm biased. I just don't like it. I think she's pretty and I think it's a good design. It's the same thing as Zhongli. It's a good design for a toon. But is it Archon level design? No, it's not. Like, if you showed me Cappuccino. Is Cappuccino? Is that how you pronounce that? The captain guy, right? If you showed me him and said he was like the Frost Archon, I can believe that, because that's a 10 out of 10 design, especially when he whipped out his like katana and it's just a frozen sword. 10 out of 10 design. But if you show me her and said this is the Pyro Archon, I'd say no, this is like the Pyro Archon's 4-star support or some dumb shit, you know? Alright, next I have in B tier, and this is a hot take, okay? This is a hot take. I have Farina in B tier. I do think if I consider Farina's story and like the actual like what happened in game, the quest in game, to be a part of her design and why she is the way she is, I can bump her up higher. But she suffers the same thing Zhongli suffers, just not as bad. She suffers with the, I can tell that you're a water champion, but how are you any different from the other water champions? You don't look like an Archon. You just look like a genuine water champion. That being said, the way that her clothing is a bit higher level than everybody else, the way that her hair and everything is better. Let me make sure. Because this is when I stopped playing the game. Is when she came out. Yeah. Like compared to Zhongli, she stands out more. She does look like a person. She looks like a princess or a queen. And given the fact that she's an Archon in her region, maybe if I don't know she's an Archon, I look at her, I can still tell she's someone important to her region. And that's better than Zhongli. Because Zhongli just looks like a normal guy, but she looks like she's supposed to mean something. The way she walks around with the staff as like a sword, and the way she has her hat, which is emulating a crown, right? The gold on her suit just makes it look like she's more important than everyone else. The glow in her eyes make it look like she has power. There's design choices that she has that makes it look like she is an Archon. And even if you can't tell she's an Archon, you can tell that she's powerful and someone important to the story. All right, she's not Zhongli, where he looks like a villager bee, or or uh Mavaka, whatever her name is, the pirate icon, who looks like she's a 4-star support for the actual pirate icon. You know, so that's why she's in B. She's good enough to stand out, but not good enough to be like, this is peak design. I don't know how they could better the design, if I'm gonna be honest. Because they already have Kokomi. And I don't want them to just make Kokomi 2.0. So I don't know how to better the design. It's a good design. She's pretty, she's strong, she's elegant. She looks like somebody important. She's just, when it comes to the others, like the top 3 for me, she's just not there. Okay, and let's go with Nahida. A very hot take. Nahida being an A. This is a very hot take. Not because I think it's wrong, but because a lot of people preferred the old Dendro Archon's design, the older version where she's like an adult. The reason why I have Nahida here is because she looks like the embodiment of Dendro. When you think about trees and fruits and stuff, you think about elves. She has it. When you look at her design, it's very angelic. It's very pure. It's very saint-like. The full white, the hints of green, the flowers, the bright green eyes that resonate power. The way that her abilities, not just like her actual abilities, but her like animations, seep of just raw talent. Do I think adding the adult version of her might have been better? I don't know. Because there's something nice about having the embodiment of knowledge and her story lining up with needing a fresh start, being open-minded, have a younger model. Because it made sense that she would be open to change and not stuck in her ways because she is a child. But as I said, this is not about the story. Though I might be hypocritical and add story on my S place. But Nahida's design is well designed to portray power, to portray excellence, to portray a god. Compared to everyone in Sumeru, she is the only one that looks like this. She's the only one that portrays like this. Like, Zhongli looks like somebody's uncle in Liyue, right? Farina, even though she does look powerful and strong and like a queen or a princess, she does blend into the people around her because everybody is fancy, right? She just has that extra oomph that puts her above everybody else. The pirate icon, we don't really talk about that one, okay? I've already said my piece. But Nahida looks like she stands out, like she is a god walking around her people. And that is what she is. So that's why she's an A for me. Let's talk about my boy Venti, okay? Let's talk about my boy Venti, okay? Let's talk about the boy himself. The Archon that started the game off. Venti's design is an A. I was thinking about S. But I'm a simp, so I put it but I'm a simp, so I only put one person in S. Okay. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Venti's design is carefree. He is a bard by choice. He plays music not because he has to, not because it's a part of his Archon power, but because he is the Archon of freedom and he chooses to be an angel. Now, I'm not going to put his lore into perspective on why he chose this physical appearance, right? But there's something about, like, it's like the Peter Pan effect, right? the carefree spirit being a kid. He is a kid in design. He is carefree. He is the wind. He is what his people inspire to be. The flower in his hair, the green outlet, the shorts. He screams freedom to me. And I know it's a bit hypocritical to be like, oh, but everybody else needs to look like an Archon. Why does Venti not look like an Archon? Well, Venti doesn't look like an Archon, but he doesn't look like everyone else. When you look at Barbados, you can tell that this person is special. Maybe he's not as special to be an Archon, but he is special. Right? I think for what he wanted to be, and this is a matter of taste here, because I can say, oh, well, Zhongli wanted to be your uncle next door because he wanted to blend in. But you have him in D tier, and if you could, you would put him in F tier. But but Venti, he wants to be a bard, and he wants to blend in, but you put him in A tier. Yeah, well, you know, Venti's design is better, his colors are better, his looks are better. Like, Zhongli just looks like he's wearing a tracksuit, okay? He looks like he's wearing a tailor-made suit. Venti looks like he's dripped the fuck out, okay? I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, I make the rules here, okay? And if I say Venti is fucking A tier, Venti's top of A tier. And now, time for my actual time for my actual bias to come in, okay? I can admit that I'm biased because Susumaru is my favorite zone in Genshin. It is by far the best story. It is by far the best gameplay. It is by far the best Archon. Raiden Shogun looks like she is an emperor. She looks like she is an eternal god living among her people. From the way that her kimono like seeps with personality, the way her electric like swirly things are on her shoulders, she is a warrior. I kind of wish they dove a bit deeper into the warrior aspect. But then when you get into the story and that you learn she is a doll, right? And that's what gives her that cold, youthful gaze. It is peak design. Do I think that she needed to pull the sword out of her boobs? No. Do I think it was badass? Yeah, it kind of was. I can 100% say that this is my bias pick. I can 100% say that there can be arguments of her being... Actually, no, fuck you. She is an S tier. I don't give a shit. Okay, listen. I gave like a breakdown of everybody else's shit. I don't need to justify this one, okay? This one is S tier. And then they added like her eternal puppet form as like a boss. I'm sorry, which other Archon is in the game in 3 different phases, okay? They have the Raiden Shogun puppet that's like the one sitting on the throne. There's like the Raiden Shogun that like came out with the softer expressions. Then there's like the Raiden Shogun god puppet that's in like a pocket dimension. Like she's just peak, okay? She is peak game design. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys. It turned into like a fucking 20-minute rant. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my 20-minute rant. I'll see you guys whenever I make another video for this channel. Okay, bye.